Evening, everybody. Tonight I'm going to be making 6434 new look, and I'm going to be making B in a size 10. I'm using cotton material, and I already got it all cut out. So this is my material. And then the contrast for the armband, I have purple. Okay, this has darts in it, one on each side. Let me see if there's anything else. No, that's about it. Okay, so let's get started. I gotta put some thread in my machine, and I'll be right back. Okay, before I get started, I just wanted to show you a couple of my little gadgets that I bought. This is from Clover, and this does the corners, and it also has a rounded edge, which will help with rounded corners. Then I also got these off of Amazon, and they are bobbin clips. So when you get done with your bobbin, you just clip it on, and it will help with the thread, just keeping it closed. You just kind of turn it like this, and then it takes up the bobbin thread, and then I just put them in a container. And then the next thing I got is a seam guide, and it's magnetic. So you get a piece like this and like this. And this will help you with your, you know, if it calls for like a 3/8 seam. You just put your needle right here, and then you would put that on your sewing machine, and that will give you your exact seam allowance. So those are just a few little things that I use. With the magnet ones, after you use it, take it off your machine, especially if your machine is computerized. It's not good for it. To keep it on all the time. So there's a couple of my little gadgets that I use all the time. Okay, so the first thing we need to do is get our front piece. And we're gonna stay stitch the neckline. And then we're gonna have to make some darts. So this is number 1. And keep your pattern out, as we're gonna have to mark some dots. And so just stay stitch your neckline. So right in here, stay stitching is just a longer stitch. So I usually put mine up to about 3. Okay, so I have mine right here, all done. In the previous video, if you don't remember your setting, just turn off your machine and turn it back on, and it'll bring you back to your normal stitch length. Okay, so now we have to go to the table. And we're gonna do our darts. So get your pattern. This out of the way. Get a marking pen. And you will see circles on your pattern. So I'm doing a 10. So mark those and line up. Match your notches. Be sure you have everything lined up good. Okay, then take your marking pen, and I usually just go through it, through my paper. Probably should have used another color because this is like a red. All right, there's one. And then 10. Mark that one. And then 10. Okay, then you see the dotted lines. And that's where you're gonna fold. So you fold to your double line. So you're folding it like this. What I do is I usually, so this one's pretty straight, this first line. So I get a ruler. I can't tell if that was my dot. There's my dot, there's my dot. Okay, there's my dot. Okay. Alrighty. There's my dot. Right there. Okay. And I usually draw the line. Okay, the bottom line is a little diagonal. So then I just draw my line there. So now I know where to match them up. And I'm going to do the other side now. So do the exact same thing. And then my 10 over here. Yep. Okay, so the first line is straight. And then this one is diagonal. Then you're going to pin this. So just bring your two sides together, because that's where your dotted lines would be. And your dotted line is right here. I'm just going to mark it on this side too, just so I can see it better. So just mark your back side too. I'll get that done and I'll be right back. Okay, so you'll be marked like this. If you can see it right in here. And right in here. So just fold these so they're touching each other on the fold line. And then pin. Okay. And you can actually put a pin through and see where you need to come to be right. Be a little bit more up. About right there. Just a little bit. There, I'm right on. So just match your lines. Yeah, that one's good. And then you're going to sew this line. Okay, once you have that done, you have them pinned, just fold your shirt in half and measure where your darts are to the bottom of your shirt, and you should be even. And that way, that'll give you an even dart. Okay, so you're going to start sewing at the top and come down and come off of your material. So just sew down and just come off of it. Okay, then go to your iron and you're going to iron your darts down. It's hard to see, but they're right here. Okay, so now we need to get our back piece. And I'm going to put my safety pins in just to be sure. This is the front side. I don't want to get messed up. Put one in the middle here. Okay. So we're going to stay stitch the back part of the neck and then stitch down the center back. Okay, and there is a dot here. So I'm just going to mark that on both sides. I should use my black pen. Oh well. And then there is one up near the neck. Right here. So I'm just going to mark that. I'll probably have to remark these on the other side, but when I'm working on the front, I want to know where my dots are. Okay. So come back over to your sewing machine. Stay stitch at your neckline. And then you're going to stitch center back seam of back lower edge to the large dot. And you're going to back stitch at the large dot. All right, so let me get my neck here first. Okay, I'm just going to mark my big dot here on both sides. This is my back. And 10 here. Oh, and then we're up to here. Okay, there's another one on the back. So 10. It's right above the 3 notch. Mark it on this side. Okay, here's this one. Oh, I just found another one. Come on. And then one near the sleeve hole. That's 10. Okay, 10. And 10. Come back to your sewing machine, you're going to pin. Okay, above your 3 notch mark, you're going to start sewing, or actually sew from the bottom all the way up to this point, and then you're gonna back stitch. So let me get that done. This is a 5/8 seam. Okay, once you have that done, go to your ironing board and open up your seams. Press your seams. Now they want us to do the shoulders next, but I'm going to do my back next because it's just a little bit easier. So just open up your seam. And keep going up to the edge of your neck. Because we're gonna square this off. We're gonna tuck some under and square it off. And I just rather do that before I get the shoulder seams done. So just turn over another 1/4 inch. And press it. And come to the other side. Press it down 1/4 inch. They seem to do a lot of these with their patterns. Okay, and then I'm just going to pin mine in 2 spots. So you're going to sew as close as you can all the way down. Here's my dot. So just go like 1 or 2 stitches after that and pivot and then come back up all the way. Okay, and I'll be right back. Okay, so you have this. All right, now they want us to, with right sides together, stitch front to back at shoulders. Okay, so get your front piece and your back piece. Match your notches. And 5/8. And I'll be right back. Okay, so get your pattern. And right up here, here's your neck. This is the dot that you're gonna put your loop on. So let me go mark mine. That's on the left side. Let me get my scissors. So we need 1.5 inches. So that's all I did, was I just sewed some of this. So your cord, if you did the cord, it would be on the shirt like this because I don't have the cord. I am just putting it like this. So pin that, having this going on the outside. You want like 1/4 of an inch. So you have it like this. And I'm going to pin it. And then I'm just going to tack it down. And just go back and forth a couple times. Okay, now you need some single fold bias tape. I didn't see that at the beginning. It didn't say anything. Single fold. Okay. So I'll edit that in. Okay, you're going to leave 3/8 because that's going to be folded afterwards. But with right sides together, you're going to pin this around the neck. And I always start close to my back. So nobody really sees it. So just leave a little out and unfold it and pin. And you're going to pin this all around. So just leave some out. Pin this all around your neck. I gotta find some more pins. And just keep pinning around, and I'll be back. Okay, so now you're gonna sew this where this first crease is, all the way around. Go slow and be sure everything is even. You want it even. Be sure your seams are open, your shoulder seams are opened. And I'll be right back. Okay, once you have that, you're gonna bend this down. You wanna turn your edge and bend this down so it covers your loop. Like that. And pin it. You're going to keep going around, pressing and pinning. So I'm going to go to my ironing board and I'm going to press this stuff down and pin it. You just want to get it nice and sharp around these corners. So let me go and do this. So you'll have something that looks like this. And that's enclosed in there. So your bias tape is opened. Because I tried it the other way and it doesn't cover it. So I guess they want us to do it this way. Okay, now we're going to sew our neckline up. So it says from the right side and like along your baseline to sew it. So let me do that. What I usually do is I do both corners first and then come back about 2 inches and then start going ahead, just so it gets the whole, all these layers. So I just find my, I should be about right in there, and then I'll just sew this and back stitch. And I'll do that to the next edge, and then I'll just come back and sew around. Okay, and then just check your back. Be sure you got everything. And then you can take your basting out. And then I'm gonna go over to the iron and just press this down. There we go. And I think the next thing we're gonna do is our side seams. And then just trim off some of your threads if you have some. I got a few hanging around here. Just don't cut your material. Get all those trimmed off. And one more. Okay. Let me see. Our side seams. So right sides together. Match your notches. Okay, and let me see, is it something about a dot? With the right sides together, stitch front to back at side seams to large dot. Back stitch at large dot to reinforce seam. Okay. So we have our dots here. If you need to go back and mark them. But here's mine. So we're gonna sew to there from up here down here. And just match your notches. And I'll be right back. This is a 5/8 seam. So don't forget to back stitch at your big dot. Okay, once you have that, we're on to our sleeves. It's gonna be pretty. I guess I can take my front safety pin out. So far, that's where we are. Okay, now we need our band. And like I said, I did mine in purple. And also get number 3, which is your sleeve. We're gonna have to ease stitch between the notches. And that's just, your tension's a little bit weaker. So between your notches, go back to your sewing machine and do that first. I should have said your tension is looser, not weaker, looser. Okay, now we're going to stitch our sleeve, the arm part right here. So match up your notches. And get both of these done. 5/8. Okay, now get your sleeve band. And you're gonna sew these up. Match your notches. I'll get this done. You're gonna fold your band in half lengthwise. I'm gonna open up my seam here. And you want your raw edges to meet. Is it the wrong way or the right side? Wrong sides together. Okay. Okay, so you're going to press these in half. I think it would have been easier to do it before they were sewn together, but there we go. Match up those seams. Get my other one done. Just be sure you get everything even here. Okay, once we have our bands done, we have to baste around the raw edge. I had to get a cup of coffee. So let me get that done, and I'll be right back. And like I mentioned before, when you have a little spool like this that's not going to sew anything, just throw it in a basket and you can use it for basting. At least you can use it up. Okay, with right sides together, you're gonna take one of your sleeves, get down here, right sides together, and you're gonna pin, match your notches and your seams. Let me see if I can find my notch here. Okay, match all this up and pin it. Then we're gonna sew it. Okay, so let me get these done and I'll be right back. Okay, once you have them pinned, sew them, and then we'll go and press them. And then you can either layer trim these, or I'm just gonna use my pinking shears. So 5/8. Okay, so this is what you'll have. Okay, go to the ironing board. You take out your basting tape or basting thread. And I'm just going to take my pinking shears and trim these up. And then bring my seam inside downwards. Okay. We're almost there. We got this, and put the sleeves on and the hem and the button. And that's it. So let's come over here. Get your pinking shears. I'm going to push mine in like this. And I'm just going to cut a little here. So do both of your sleeves, and I'll be right back. Okay, and now I'm just going to press mine. And then we're going to go and we're going to attach our sleeves. So I'll be right back. Okay, with right sides together, matching your notches and your seams, you're going to pin your armhole in. Be sure your seams are open. Match the notches. And then we're going to sew this up. Okay. All right, let me get this done, and I'll be right back. Okay, you're going to have to grab your ease seam or stitch that you did, and you're kind of going to just pull it just a little for this to fit in. It's not really gathering, it's just kind of just to help it go in right. Okay, so this is my ease stitch. So once I have that done and where my notches are, that's where it's going to start to ease in. That's where I just try to like pull it so it'll fit in. You just have to play with it a little just to make it look right. This is really about the top of my sleeve. So just keep fitting it in. I usually get one side done, and then I'll go work on the other side. I'll check it too. Okay. So then work on your next side, and I'll be back. Okay, once you have all this pinned, start down here at your seam and sew all the way around. Be sure you keep these sides even. Your edges, you want to keep them even. And see, I just pull mine and everything is eased in. Okay, let me sew this up. Okay, once you have one sleeve done, check it that you didn't catch anything. And then under the arm, you're just gonna go from notch to notch and just do like 3/8. Okay, now for the side, these openings, what you're gonna do is just what we did to the back. Knock over my coffee. Just open up your seam and keep going down that 5/8. And then you're going to turn under about 1/4. And do that on both sides. And I'm going to just pin mine just a little. And then sew as close as you can to this edge. Come up a couple stitches, come across, and come right back down. Do that on both sides. Then we're going to turn under 1/4, and then probably like 1/4 or 1/2 inch for our hem. So I'll get mine other side done and start turning this and do the hem, and I'll be right back. Okay, after you have your 1/4 inch turned up, I'm doing about a 1/2 inch hem. I have my little ruler and just get it as straight as you can get it. Pin it and then sew it up, and then you have to sew on a button. Okay, everybody, here's this one. I sewed the button on the back. Okay, so that was 64.34 New Look. This is a size 10. I don't know, I think maybe I could have done a 12, but it's good. And tomorrow, I think I might make a shirt out of this one. I'm not quite sure which pattern I want to use yet. But we'll figure that out tomorrow. Anyways, that's it for tonight. If you would please like, share, comment, thumbs up, and subscribe if you haven't already. The channel is growing, which is awesome. I'm really pleased about that. And if I can help anybody with any of the patterns, please just comment. I know one subscriber asked what kind of fabric I use. I always use cotton because I'm in Florida, and it just breathes a lot better down here. So once in a while I use flannel, but that's just for pajama pants. But mostly it's cotton. And but yeah, I'll figure out something to do tomorrow, and then I will see you then. You all have a good night.